Hi, how you guys doing? I'm Kateria. Welcome to the Power of God Ministries, JC. If you are looking to get saved, please feel free to check out the salvation clip. Okay, check out the salvation clip, and I will walk you through those steps to getting saved or rededicating your life back to God. At the end of that clip, you're gonna know that you are officially saved, and um subscribe, like, share. If you like the information or want to stay up to date with the content that I'm releasing. And this one right here is talking about Russia. I'm sorry, it's talking about the Japanese and the Chinese during the World War II and what took place. So earlier this year, today is October 24th, 2024. And earlier this year, year of 2024, maybe around January through January and April or something, God began to tell me to research the Japanese people. And then he began to tell me to research the Japanese and the Chinese, right? During the war strategies and stuff like that. And then also research the Japanese and the Chinese and the culture. All right. That's going to be on a different clip. I'm just going to go over the most important things all the way down to the least important. So let's start off with what made Japan so successful. Okay, so Japan was successful over China and basically was supposed to win, but America came in to help. So why Japan was so successful over China is the same things they are going to try to be doing to America. So why God have me just he's like showing me stuff, but then he's confirming it with history, showing me that, hey, this stuff has happened in history too. Hey, you don't believe it? Look, so all this stuff that we see is happening with the Japan and the Chinese war. Okay? It's like they went to the playbook, even for the one with the British. So this war is going to have a little bit of the British, a little bit of the Japan and Chinese war, and then a little bit of this war and a little bit of that war. Even a little bit of the Persian, okay? The Persian military. All right? So of why they lost their war was because they went bankrupt, because the Persian military was still one of the fiercest militaries around. So let's go back to it. So what did Japan do to China that really destroyed China and quickly as well? So Google said one of the main things that Japan did was Japan armies quickly gained control of most ports, cities, and railways. Okay, I have a hard time with my R's and W's sometimes. Okay, again, Japan armies quickly gained control of most ports, cities, and railways. That's exactly what they're trying to do here. That's exactly what I have on my videos. All right. It talks about how they are a better equipped and better. Japan also won because they was better trained and better equipped. We know that America is not better equipped right now. Even the men and women of God are seeing things that's going to happen that America does not have a defense for. They encountering stuff like the Poseidon warhead that doesn't disclose its capabilities. They encountering stuff that they don't really have a defense for. But more so, we got some bad stuff, don't get me wrong, right? But currently, they're not buying the better stuff because we know that we have an insider. Because nobody is incompetent. You know what's the best out there. You're not incompetent. Why you not buying the best? I feel like we're getting torn down from the inside, right? Betrayers. So that's what one YouTuber kind of like broke down, how they're not buying these particular missiles that basically that can shoot off so fast that it really can be detected by the radar. And that when it shoots off like that it can also destroy X amount of missiles around it at one time. And then they went into more details about what they buying and how it's not like the best one. But that's the reason why Japan was so successful, is because they was better equipped. However, the heart of the American soldiers, the heart of the American citizens, the heart of the American entities that will be protecting the homeland is still can preserve some things. So I would say, make sure whatever you do, block them from getting into your cities and block them from getting onto your ports, because that's exactly the initial success. That is the initial success that Google said. The initial success was the ports, the cities, and the railways. The railways is the roads, the bridges, the same little stuff that don't make sense, that was that God was saying that they was going to be attacking in New York. The gates, the cities, the roads, the subways, to the bridges, to the tunnels. Don't let them on. All right. So now you have it to where we see they're coming in through the rivers. They're coming in through the rivers. And then from the rivers, they have to climb up to get onto your land. These rivers, I'm in Florida, South Florida. So these rivers that's going to be hot. I don't know how they're going to commute to intercoastal waterways. All right. Because that keep popping up. Intercoastal waterways. When you Google that, it's like the one in Broward County. It says that it's not even recommended to boat in that area. They don't want you boating in that area. So I don't know what part of intercoastal waterways, like Miami, do they want you to boat into? What part do they want you to boat into? Like, I don't even know, but I keep hearing intercoastal waterways. Like, I've been hearing that. Intercoastal waterways. The Straits of Florida. And intercoastal waterways, unless there's another way, there is no way that I saw that you can actually get to it except by another body of water. Right? In other words, Florida Bay, Biscayne Bay, New River, all of them have national parks that intersects with them. Very convenient to just take your little boats and go to the national park and get on land through the national parks or city parks or whatever type of park is there. Okay? Stop them. That's all I can say, because that equipment, that better equipment, I don't know. That better equipment, I don't know. That is what was their success. I'm going to jump and leave that and go to, because there's two more things that made them successful, but it's very mild and doesn't really matter. But the other one, that China suffered so badly. What China suffered so badly is the same thing. What China suffered so badly that got them defeated in the little areas of the city that they did get defeated in is this: the destruction of industrial infrastructures and agricultural production. The last one was politics. Okay? Allowing what they called the outsiders to come in and the tribal groups to come in on this same or a different day though, but with these researchers of the Chinese and the Japanese, God say research the kingdoms. The 3 kingdoms came up, and I presume there was more kingdoms, and I ran into the 3 kingdoms today because I really couldn't find it. And so that was the fall of the Han Dynasty, HAN, if you look it up on your own time. The fall of the HAN dynasty. The empire was torn apart into 3 kingdoms. And the whole reason of their downfall was the outsiders and the tribal groups from border regions. Those are immigrants. All right. And so I believe that has something to do with how it says scattering of the tentative modernization begun by the nationalist government. All right. It has something to do with trying to go into a new way of life, and them probably making promises to the Chinese people that they're gonna do some modernizing things and creating new laws or whatever the case may be. But the nationalist government was just procrastinating, hesitating, and scattering them and not really fulfilling what they supposed to be doing, because the nationalist government is a dictatorship. All right, it holds its allegiance to the country and the state, and it doesn't really care about the individuals or the group of people interests. Now that's the definitions that came from Google. I just changed it up a little bit just in case y'all want to debate what a nationalist is. All right, somewhat like the Christian nationalist. You know what I'm saying? It's Christian or no other way type of deal like that. And but they worse. Let's not even go there, because a dictator may be better than a Christian nationalist. So let's not even go there. So however, the industrial infrastructure is basically your mines, your oil rigs. Check out another video. I'm gonna clarify that. All right. Rigs, drills, drill rigs or rig drills, whichever one. But God definitely mentioned that with New York, and I didn't say it on my video, but then I looked up the Gate of Prosper and those kept popping up. Oil rigs. And then the next day, guess what? I'm up here looking at a movie with an oil rig. And so, but the oil rigs, the rig itself is the industrial infrastructure, is the fact that it helps the economy. It helps build your economy. It helps build a base, a foundation for your infrastructure, which is money. The oil turns into money. That money builds your infrastructure as well. But the physical elements and components to this industrial infrastructure is the rig. You get it? So these are the rigs and the mines. Inside the mines, you either got the gold, the quartz, or the lithium. And then I read that they just found some more lithium. I don't know if that's recent, but I just read that they just found some lithium in the southeastern states, which is but usually that means that they already knew it was there, which is Texas, and it looked like by the Gate of Prosper again, but Texas, Louisiana, got to be Alabama, and maybe a little bit in Oklahoma, but a lot in Texas and a lot in Louisiana. And so they was like, they have so much of it that they shouldn't have to do any type of buying it from other places, you know, like they have means to survive on their own as Americans. So this is something I just saw today or yesterday, and I meant to save it and everything like that. But it's just showing how God is showing that these things are up for attacks. But when they got it, this is how they succeeded over China. Agricultural production was damaged. That's how they succeeded over China. But when they got a hold of it, and what God was showing on my other videos, same concept. They are after the produce manufacturing and the produce production. Produce is your agriculture. All right, your produce is your agriculture. They after it. This is what happened with the demise of China, but they only got rescued because America came in. All right, I'm gonna leave it right there. I'm gonna have another clip for people who don't want to leave the country and what to expect if you are in a war-driven country, and what has happened in the past with people who stayed in war. Basically, they went to prison. They couldn't prove that they were citizens of what we see. And then the non-citizens for World War II in the U.S. went to prison. So guess what? If we see that, my friends see that you can't prove that you are a citizen because people didn't have their birth certificate on hand or something, right? Where do you think they're going to go? Because what happens is they let you evacuate. However that works. I don't know what people are thinking. But However it works, however it works. Okay, so you guys, oh, but yes, I did talk about the scattering. All right, so those were the main things that I covered today that was going to be replicated, or that we can see currently by my videos. I don't know if everybody can see it, but by my videos, this is what God is showing. And so he just showed me it in literature. So I have some more videos that I want to pull out with literature, and I really hope that I can pull out the ones with the dreams as well. All right, you guys be blessed. Make sure you check out the salvation clip if you want to get saved or know someone who does. This is the Power of God Ministries, JC, and I'm Kateria. Have a good day.